This video didn't show up by accident. It found you. Because something deep inside you, your soul, your spirit, has been whispering, there has to be more than this struggle. Have you been feeling like you're constantly being tested? Like you're walking through fire with no end in sight? Maybe you're questioning everything, your purpose, your path, even your faith. But what if I told you that the struggle itself is the awakening? What if pain is not punishment, but preparation? What if your breakdown is the exact doorway to your breakthrough? This isn't just motivation. This is spiritual alignment. And today, we're going to unlock the hidden wisdom behind your struggles, the ancient truths, and how every setback is designed to reconnect you with your higher self, your divine assignment. This message isn't for the comfortable, it's for the called. And if your spirit stirred just now, you already know you're one of them. Let's begin. In the spiritual realm, struggle is not a detour, it's the path. Higher awareness doesn't come during ease. It's birthed in the fire, molded in the valley, recognized in the wilderness. Let's talk about Joseph. From the pit to the palace. Joseph had a dream, a vision of purpose so vivid it shook him to the core. But before the dream could be fulfilled, he had to be stripped of everything, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. From the outside, Joseph's life looked cursed, but in heaven's blueprint, he was in divine positioning. Each betrayal was a redirection. Each injustice was a refinement. Each delay was a divine setup. Because while Joseph was locked in a cell, God was unlocking a throne. And when famine hit the land, the same brothers who betrayed him had to bow before him. Because Joseph's struggle birthed wisdom, strategy, and spiritual stature. Your struggle is not the end, it's the assignment. Like Joseph, you're being positioned to govern, not just survive. The wilderness between who you were and who you're becoming. There is a sacred, soul-wrenching space between who you were and who you're becoming, and it is called the struggle, the breaking, the burning, the becoming. But let's be honest, no one glorifies this part, because this is where it hurts, where your chest is tight for days, where your thoughts feel like thunder, where your prayers turn into whispers, and your tears are the only things that understand you. This is the valley. It's where everything that's not truly you begins to fall away, where identities you wore out of survival start peeling off, where people who once loved you can no longer find you, because your spirit is rising, and they only knew your shadow. The struggle exposes everything. The ego you thought was confidence, the relationship that was really a distraction, the job that fed your bills but starved your soul. The struggle is where illusions die. Why it feels like you're being burned. Because you are. Struggle is fire. And fire doesn't ask for permission to change you. It just does. But here's the sacred truth. Fire never shows up to destroy the gold. It shows up to destroy everything that isn't. Struggle will torch the lies you tell yourself. It will expose the gaps in your identity. It will ignite a longing so deep for truth and alignment that you'll never settle again. The moment you surrender to the fire, you stop fearing the pain and start trusting the purification. That's the shift, not from pain to pleasure, but from confusion to clarity, from identity to essence, from survival to awareness. Let's talk about the heartbreak, the loss, the rejection, the betrayal, the closed doors, the things you begged to stay but had to be torn from your grip. Let's talk about the moments you asked, why would this happen to me? What if every single thing that left was never part of your higher path to begin with? What if struggle removes what your soul never consented to carry? The relationship that ended, it wasn't aligned with your becoming. The job you lost. It kept you comfortable, not awakened. The betrayal. It broke your illusion, not your worth. Struggle isn't punishment. It's pruning. It's life cutting back the excess. So what's real can finally grow. But why does it hurt so much? Because your soul is being stretched. And expansion always comes with tension. You're being asked to release control, loosen your grip, detach from what no longer reflects your truth trust, what hasn't shown up yet. It's terrifying. It's destabilizing. But it's sacred. Because the pain isn't just pain. It's a signal. It's your higher self awakening from underneath years of conditioning. It's the divine reclaiming you. Struggle is the mirror. You want to know who you really are. Look at who you become when life goes silent, when nobody claps, when there's no recognition, no rescue, no applause. That version of you, raw, stripped, wrestling with doubt but still standing. That's your real self. Struggle doesn't just test character. It reveals it. And even more, it builds it. Every moment you choose integrity in the dark, every time you show up with nothing but your bare truth, every time you cry, scream, break, and still rise the next day, you are becoming untouchable. Not in pride, but in presence. You're becoming spiritually unshakable. The hidden blessing in struggle. You don't come out of struggle with what you wanted. You come out with what you needed. Unshakable peace. Discernment, purpose that's not performative. Energy that protects itself. Love that doesn't beg. Faith that doesn't flinch. These don't come from books. They come from the furnace, from the grief, from the sleepless nights and the whispered prayers, from the ache of letting go. And no, there's no shortcut. You have to feel it to be free from it. What awakens after the storm? You've been through a lot, but here's the truth. Struggle doesn't leave you empty. It leaves you aware. Once the dust settles, something incredible happens. You start to see differently. You begin noticing things you used to ignore. What drains your energy and what fuels it. Which people feel safe and which ones feel performative. Which choices align with your values and which come from pressure. This clarity isn't accidental. It's what struggle was building the whole time. Discernment. Now, you don't just survive life. You start to live it on purpose. You become more aligned with your higher self. Your higher self isn't some far-off mystical concept. It's the version of you that's aligned with your truth. The you who doesn't settle out of fear, makes decisions from intuition, not insecurity. Knows how to protect their peace, is led by purpose, not pressure. When you've gone through something deep, you realize you're not interested in playing small anymore. You're not here to perform or prove. You're here to be whole. Life after the shift. After you've awakened through pain or challenge, here's what often changes. You simplify. What once seemed important no longer holds the same weight. You want deeper connection, not constant stimulation. You become intentional. You start asking, is this right for me? Before you say yes, you honor your energy. You let go faster. You no longer cling to what's misaligned. Peace matters more than pleasing. You reconnect with your purpose. You remember what you're here to do. What you were always meant to create, lead, or shift. This is when your life begins to feel different. You're not forcing things. You're flowing. You're not chasing people. You're attracting aligned ones. You're not hustling for approval. You're living in truth. How to stay connected to your higher awareness. Now that you've awakened, your next step is staying aligned. Here are a few practices that help. Start the day in silence. Before checking your phone or talking to anyone, give yourself 5-10 minutes to sit in stillness. Let your intuition speak first. Listen to your body. Your body will always tell you when something is off. Tightness in your chest, heaviness in your stomach, fatigue after certain people or places. Pay attention. Say yes with your full self, or don't say yes at all. If it doesn't feel like alignment, it's probably a distraction. Create space for joy. You don't have to earn peace or joy. Make time for things that remind you you're alive. Music, nature, art, movement. Check in weekly. Ask yourself, what felt aligned this week? What didn't? What can I shift next week? Growth doesn't require perfection, just honesty. The bigger picture. Every season you go through shapes you, but it's what you do with it that changes your life. You can stay stuck in the story of what happened, or you can choose to rise with new eyes, new boundaries, new power. And if you do, if you walk forward with clarity, you'll stop feeling like life is happening to you and start realizing it's happening through you. You didn't go through all of that just to go back to who you used to be. There's a reason life shook you. There's a reason certain people left, certain doors closed, and certain dreams had to evolve. Not because you failed, but because you outgrew what once fit. This is what higher awareness really means. You're not waiting for life to get better. You're becoming better at living on purpose. You see things differently now. You feel more. You pause before reacting. You speak with more intention. You value peace over performance. You protect your energy instead of spreading it thin. That's growth. That's power. And that's exactly what you were meant to remember. You are being positioned, not punished. The moments you thought were setbacks were actually invitations. Invitations to reclaim your power, reconnect with your purpose, live with more clarity and conviction. Now, your role isn't just to heal and rise. It's to live what you've learned. Not perfectly, but intentionally. The new you moves differently. Here's what alignment looks like going forward. You create from a place of clarity, not chaos. You speak up for your needs without guilt. You pursue your goals without fear of being misunderstood. You walk away from anything that doesn't honor your growth. You let the world adjust to the real you, not the other way around. You're not here to shrink. You're here to shine, quietly, boldly, consistently. Everything you've been through wasn't just about pain. It was preparation. Preparation for bigger decisions, bolder moves, deeper relationships, a clearer sense of mission. You're not lost. You're being redirected. You're not broken. You're being rebuilt. You're not behind. You're becoming. And it's time to trust that becoming. If this message spoke to something deep in you, don't just let it fade. Honor it. Reflect on what needs to shift in your life right now. Recommit to your vision, even if it still feels uncertain. Remember who you are and who you're not going to be anymore. And most of all, don't go back to sleep. You've come too far to forget the truth you just uncovered. Comment below. What I've learned from my struggle is, or if you're still in the middle of it, type, I'm ready to rise. Let's speak it into motion together. Subscribe if you're on a journey of growth, purpose, and higher awareness. This is just the beginning. You didn't come here by accident.